The power of transformation is in our love. We've got each other, and God's got us. Power of transformation. The power of transformation is in our love. We've got each other, and God's got us. Power of transformation is in our love. We've got each other, and God's got us.
What up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Ramon, most definitely in the building. You understand me? You understand me? This is your boy Ramon, called the Dr. Called, Pastor Called, the Elder Called, whatever kind of caller you want to call me. Just don't call me collect. You understand me? And I'm sitting here with my lovely, beautiful, voluptuous, virtuous wife. You understand me? Mrs. Miko Carter. You understand me? And she looking just as beautiful. Let me give her a little hand clap of praise for that. A little hand clap of praise for that, you understand me? She looking like Lucky Charm, you understand me? Looking magically delicious.
Good afternoon, everybody. She always cuts up.
Without a knife, you understand me? But check this out, you understand me? We here today with a new episode, you understand? We on episode 24. 24.
Moving it along.
But we gonna have to do that challenge because they say 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7. You know the challenge. They got a challenge going out. We gonna do that challenge. You understand me?
I never heard of that.
I saw it. We gonna do it. It's about But without further ado, we on episode 24, and this episode is about being equally yoked. Equally yoked, building strong, balanced relationships. You understand me? Equally yoked, building strong, balanced relationship. What you got to say that? Because we right now we living in a time, and this is called the hookup culture. You understand me? Everybody just hooking up. And you know, Bishop said something mighty fine on yesterday. You understand me? As a matter of fact, let me tell you what he said. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm quoting, Bishop R.C. Blake's right there, and he said something. He said, "Your type is for a moment. Your kind is for life." See, I wasn't looking for a type, but somebody, you understand me, sitting on this couch with me, they were looking for a type, America, you understand me? I know I'm doing some talking right now, but she was looking for a type. Her type was got doggone tall with a beard, and I ain't had no beard. I was bald head and everything, but I'm trying to tell you, she almost missed her blessing. Praise Jesus. Jesus wept. You understand me? Almost missed it. You understand me? Because guess what? Even though I'm short, you understand me? Just stand up in it.
That's just stuff. Man, and you got a little audience or something going on. I hate it. No.
Just as long as you stand up in it. No. All right. Okay. You ready?
I've been ready.
You ain't got to say nothing?
I mean, you didn't say it enough.
All
You
right.
got the crowd hype. You got everybody going. You done did your thing talking about that I wasn't interested in.
You wasn't. You said I wasn't your type. You said according to Miko Carter, 2020. You understand? I remember like it was yesterday when you came to my office.
Let's just tell our story.
We gonna tell the story. You understand me? Okay. Here's how the story went.
There's always two sides to every story.
It was 2020, and I was in my well, okay. I've been knowing her, but not really knew her. I remember I used to, in the hood. I was trapping then, and I used to I came by y'all.
Used to pass.
I used to pass over that way. This was like way back in 1995. This was in 1995, and man, I had the trap house, and so I used to pass up the street. You understand me?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Basically, what? Go ahead.
Basically, what he's saying is he had his eyes on me back in '95.
I ain't had my eyes on you. I had my eyes on everybody. You understand? Way back then, but you wasn't. You back then. I saw you. You understand me? But I ain't really paying no attention to you until when I saw you walking away. Well, I was watching her social media. And I said, "Oh, she's a nice looking young lady." You understand me? And I think she inboxed me or something like that. I think she inboxed me about learning about the stocks, about the stock market. Let me get close to this mic. And she wanted to know about.
Actually, that wasn't why. Well, that was part of the reason why.
That was part.
I ended up really wanting to learn how to write a book.
And you wanted to learn how to write a book. That's right. And I said, okay, we can meet at my office. She can come to my office, right? And she came to my office. I came downstairs because my office was on the 3rd floor, Southern University campus. And I came down to meet her and we went up. She had on some white pants. I remember like it was yesterday. So we came to the office and I'm sitting down in my chair and she's across in the chairs where the students usually sit at. And we went to talking and I was telling her this, that, and the other. I showed her a little bit of the graph about how to trade, and we talk about the book. And I told her everything that she needs to do as it pertains to writing the book. I said, listen, all I need for you is to write. Once you write, I know how to do the editing. I know how to do the book cover. I know how to do all that stuff there. And after the conversation, after the meeting was over, I walked her downstairs and she was walking away. And you know how you watch her walk. It's like she had a little certain twist. Right? I'm like, she walking. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me backpedal. I backpedal a little bit. And so when she was in the office, I'm like, dang, I didn't know she looked that good. That's what I said. I'm like, I didn't know she looked that good. She was glowing in the office, right? But I ain't paying no mind. And so therefore, I walked her down and she walked away and I watched her. I said, I can work with that. And she got in her little car. She had the red bands then? Yeah, she had the red bands then.
Yeah, she got in her little car.
Yeah, and she got in her car and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I told her, I said, I am about to leave and fly out to London because we had a convention in the United Kingdom. She said, "Oh, I wish I can come." I sure wish she would have came, you understand me, way back then, you understand me? But anyway, the pandemic hit, and then she went to, she started doing masks, right? And she must have was watching my profile because she knew that I was a Dallas Cowboy fan, and she made
your profile.
I saw her making masks, and I told her I want me a special customized mask with royal culture. And then it caused me to go back and looking at more of her photos. I'm like, okay. Yeah, she's jazzy, you know what I'm saying? She jazzy. She liked the dress and everything. She matched my fly or whatever. But I still wasn't interested in her because I was in a relationship. And she was in a relationship with her type. With her type. And so, anyway, pandemic hits. And long story short, I ordered some masks. And now months pass. You know, we conversated or whatever. She's still with her type. And I got out of what I was in. And shucks. What happened? You came by me?
What?
No, her birthday.
So
the birthday. I went over by the house for her birthday.
That's not what happened. But
this just a little synopsis
he's
of what's going on.
A little bit,
you
but
understand?
He's not giving it right. So you didn't say it enough.
All right, I'm gonna be quiet. You
didn't say it enough.
All right, go ahead on. What you waiting on?
It's a mess.
It wasn't no mess because it's good. You understand me?
So I hear you keep mentioning about I had a type. oh, she got a type, she got a type, she got a type. So basically, what you saying? You don't have a type, or you never had a type. Your type is
Long
just
as you look
long
good.
as you got. Wait, let me see it. I want to say it just how I heard. So as long as can, how was it said? Thighs. Your type is just long as you have thighs.
And eyes, I don't know.
No, it's another way, but long
Lips,
as they
hips,
have
and thighs.
lips, hips, and tips.
Bishop said that.
Woo!
Lips, hips, and tips.
So that was your type. So you,
No.
I mean, I'm no. This is serious.
All
So
right,
I'm asking
okay.
because
Watch this. Watch this. Lips, hips, and tips. Of course, I'm looking at the tips. Well, I never was really a tips man, right? The hips, I always admired the hips, right? And you know, they got to look, you know,
So-
at least look
so that's
decent.
so I'm really trying to ask a question. Do you have a type?
They had a song. I ain't got no type.
Right.
I don't know the words. I just know that.
They said bad.
Oh, I
bees
don't
is
know
the
all
only
that
thing
part.
that
I ain't
like.
said all that.
But
But
that's
anyway,
what the song say.
yeah,
So
I don't
you
know.
really don't have a type.
I didn't date a short, tall.
So that means you don't have a type, right?
No, long as you got a
Basically.
heart
Okay,
or something.
or something.
You got a heart. A
So your
heart.
type is a person with a heart.
No, that was because I was not the man that I am now because I don't even know what I really was looking for.
So you really so have you
I was
ever,
just driving.
okay, so have you ever had a type? It's a question.
No, I ain't never have no
Okay.
type.
All right, so that makes
I
sense.
thought I wanted 30, what that is, 36, 22, 36 or something like 36,
Okay.
20.
So
Long hair, big thighs, and pretty eyes and all that stuff there.
Oh.
You know how we grow up and that's what we want, you understand
Yeah.
me? But that really does not necessarily, as the older as I get, I'm not looking for, I didn't want type. I wanted my kind.
okay, so you saying that. All right, so that brings me back to what you were saying about me, for as me wanting and having a type. So basically, I did have a type,
Mm-hmm.
right? I, and this is facts. I've never wanted to date anybody shorter than me. It's just like, I mean, I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me, right? So I always, if I dated, the person had to be taller than me. Not that they had to be, but I mean, that's what I preferred, somebody to be taller than me. I didn't want nobody shorter than me. And believe it or not, over a period of time, and as you get older and you start growing and knowing who you are as a person, you start to realize that what you deem to be your type don't always work with
That's good.
you, right? So I discovered that instead of me, and I'm say some stuff that I probably you haven't heard before, but this is our intimate time, so we having a
Okay, this is
discussion, we
live. This is
talking.
good. Let me sit up.
So you know, I've had people that would be like, not your type, not your type, right? Because he's too short. He's shorter than you. He's not your type. He's shorter than you. But I always defended you and defended the fact that you were shorter than me because it wasn't about the type no more for me.
This is an exclusive.
No, seriously, it wasn't about the type. It gotten to the point to where I'm like, yeah, he is shorter than me, but like he does so much for everything else for me. Like it, like now you didn't got.
I'm listening. I'm in
No, but
tune.
seriously, it was something else. It was more than just you being my type.
So what was it? We're here, America. We want to know because I want to know. I haven't inquired.
So it was the way you treat me,
Mm.
like the way you treat me. So,
In the beginning.
yeah, in the beginning,
Okay.
of course. So it was the way you catered to me. It was certain things that you did So let me go back and tell my version of the story. So when we first met, when I first encountered Ramon, uh I wanted to learn about Forex and also about writing a book. And I know that he was into all of that stuff from Facebook. So I reached out to somebody else that told me to well, I actually reached out to somebody else and they
they were
told me
tight?
I don't want to say people names and all of that.
Well,
Right.
we know him as tight.
I know, but
That's
still,
my
I don't
brother.
be wanting to just, So they told me, well, I got somebody I could, refer you to, and they can, help you with the forex. So when I looked them up and stuff, I saw he write books and all this stuff. So I said, okay. So I scheduled a meeting with him, and when I scheduled the meeting with him, I had to go to his office, and when I got to his office, when I actually first saw him, I said, damn, this man smells good as I don't know what. So let me say this. Part of my type is a man that smell really good and that can dress. So when I looked at him, he had on the hat like he have on now. And I can't remember. I think he had on a burgundy
Royal
sweater, Royal Culture sweater, and some other stuff. But he was well put together and he smelled really, really good. So
Buying number 9.
so when I looked at him, I'm like, damn, I wish he was a little bit taller. Wish he was a baller. I wish he had, that's a song, but no, but seriously, when I looked at him, I'm like, damn. So he went on up the steps. I followed him up the steps. We sat down. He told me a little bit about the Forex, and I'm like, I don't get it. So while we were sitting there, and after the meeting was, I was just admiring him and the stuff on his wall and stuff. And when, the meeting was over with, he walked me downstairs and he was kind of flirting when we were upstairs. He was doing a little bit of flirting, and I'm like, this man flirting with me. So, I raised my eyebrows up. I'm like, yeah, he flirting. So when we got ready to leave, as I walked down the steps, I felt him watching me.
I surely was.
So as I got further along, I looked, I said, he turned around. Y'all know this little thing that females do to see if the man is actually watching them. So I turned around and looked, and he was like really staring at me. And I was like, oh, Lord. And as I walked away, I said, dang, if that man was a little bit taller, I would probably date him. So I went on about my business. And next thing you know, we kept kind of talking to each other about the writing a book and stuff like that, and kept keeping in contact. And he invited me to his place.
No, they ain't have. I came by you for your birthday. This was months down the line.
Yes, you invited me to your place.
So you skip from February 2020.
From February.
All right, all the way to
skipping.
September.
Yeah, I'm skipping to
all right, all the way
before September.
All right, August.
So I'm skipping from February when we originally met. We met originally in 2020, and then I skipped all the way to around August, I believe. So around August, he invited me to his place. I went to his place, and he was extremely nice. He had to cook. I just admired his place.
This was after your birthday.
This was before my birthday, Ramon.
Oh, all right.
You got to do your thinking. I know what I'm talking about. So
okay, carry on.
When I actually went to the place, it was just the way he act, the way he was treating me, the way he,
And you said that I cooked. I had cooked.
Yeah, you cooked food.
And what I cooked?
And you brought me upstairs to the top of your balcony.
To the rooftop.
To the rooftop.
To overlook and see the city.
And I'm just
see the city.
I don't know, but the whole
ambiance. You can see the whole city.
The whole ambiance.
I'm like, hey, baby, I'm gonna get all of this.
I'm like, dang, I like this. And of course,
downtown.
Yeah, so I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, could potentially be something. But then I let that fly, go through one ear and out the other, and I went on about my business and carried on with my life. And then some weeks later, we reached out to each other again. Ramon reached out to me, I think, for my birthday or something, and
I came over there.
Yeah, he came over. Well, you didn't come to my house. I was at a friend's house. I was living in Slidell, so I came. He came to my house, to one of my friends' house where I was at, and we had an Airbnb. and he came over, and he
You
was.
had on that royal blue tube dress.
Yep, I had on a dress and Yep, I did.
I was trying to get her to come.
So he was trying to get me to come back to his place, and I was like, "Come back to your place? Oh no!" Then I started looking at him. I'm like, "Wait, this man, he act like a little player or something." So I was kind of like, "Nah, I ain't coming back to your place. I don't know what makes you think I'm coming to your place, but no, that ain't gonna happen." So that was in September for my birthday. So I didn't go to my birthday is September 26th, by the way, and I didn't go for his birthday, and then for my birthday, and then um some time went by. We still talked over the phone, and then I believe in November was his birthday. And I went and we spent a little more time together. I would go to his place, and then we would walk downtown, and we would do some stuff together, and the conversation that we used to have was good. And I believe for his birthday was our first time actually gone. What we did? Oh, I came to your birthday party.
Yeah, I told you that I was having a birthday party.
Yeah, so when I went to his birthday party, I saw him at his birthday party. He invited me, and my friend went, and he was at the bar flirting and talking to a female. And I'm like, oh, and invited me
I was talking business.
to no party, and he's just sitting here talking to a female. So I'm looking and I'm watching him. I'm like, yeah, he a player. Yeah, he played. Yeah, he a player. Yeah, he a player. So, long story short, and moving forward, I used to I would tell him, and I would play certain songs for him, and this is the thing, right? I knew he had player potential. I knew he had player potential, but I can also see he was a godly man, right? So I was like, dang, like I can see he was a
You're a
little
godly man, and
unbalanced, right? I saw he was unbalanced. And I knew the type of female that I was, and I've been in a relationship where, I've been in a relationship where you had to kind of like build, help build a man, and that was too much, right? And
What you mean?
I'm just saying I've been in relationships like that.
What you mean? Bill a man.
Yeah, a lot of females done been in relationships like that.
No,
So
would it?
I knew that wasn't what I wanted. But I said all that to say this. I knew he wasn't where he needed to be, but I knew if he had the right person in his life, the right woman in his life, that it would help him. Long as he had God and the right woman, then I felt like he'll get to that place where he needed to be. And I really did. That's what I felt. Because
Y'all believe all that?
He asking y'all, do y'all believe,
Y'all believe that?
He asking the audience. The audience
believe
right
that?
here. You asking the audience.
You
do
believe
it?
that?
Yeah, they believe it.
You
So-
believe that?
Yeah, they believe it.
That's
Yeah,
my-
they believe it. You don't believe it?
Huh?
You don't believe that?
So you right then and there, you skipped the latter part. I know we
I
talk
did
about
skip a lot of part. I mean, we'll be here for 3-4 hours telling the
all
story
right.
if I don't. I mean,
because tell the part when you was at my house. You understand
and
me?
this is a
And I had
live-
to go
this
down
is-
there and get
this
the
is a live-
mail.
This is a
You
live
understand
recording.
me?
Ain't no editing and going back.
All
and
right, it's all
redoing
good.
nothing.
But I found out that you told me, I'm like, how you knew I was your husband or
Well,
whatever.
I didn't never get to that part yet. I never got to that part. I'm just only talking about the part of us dating and
Oh, all right.
and
Shucks.
so I never got to that part yet. But I did look at you and I was like, he a
Because
player.
we
So I
both was
playing-
dating. I was
we
dating.
But I was looking at you. I'm like, he may be a player. So I remember. Do you remember me playing certain songs for you? and
Yeah,
things
playing
like
some
that?
crazy songs.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait, hold up. So I would play certain songs just to kind of like, but it brings me back to the topic of what we're talking about, being equally yoked. And when we decided to talk about this, because this was a huge topic for us yesterday at church, so it just touched all the way around, because for one, he's correct about me having a type or wanting a particular type of guy, just off of looks, right? So I was going off of what I wanted for as looks, but what I realized is what I needed it was the kind of man I needed versus the type of man I needed. And he was the kind of man that I needed in real, for real, for real. Like, because everything, like, it's so hard to just to explain it. It was like everything that I needed, like he was providing it for me. Everything I needed, and I'm not talking about material stuff. I'm talking about what I needed for my heart. You know what I'm saying? What I needed for my other areas, like for everything. Like he was that for me. So, and I never had nobody that can touch in all those, different areas. Most of the time when you meet a man, they touching 2 or 3 areas. When you meet somebody and they touching almost all the areas, and my only issue was the fact that he was short, I no longer saw him as being short.
I was tall.
Yeah, I no longer saw him as being short. So I mean, at the very beginning, it was like, dang, But immediately that went out the window so fast. Like I couldn't even believe it because I've dated a short guy before, and man, I'm telling you, it was short lived. I'm talking about short lived, very short lived. I had a guy that tried to talk to me before. I mean, he had a nice truck. The man got out the truck and had to step down, and I took out running, and I'm like, oh
You a
no, this
leprechaun?
can't. Don't talk about no leprechauns and all that. Don't. Cause you sitting here looking like.
Hey, why you running? Hey, come here. Come here.
Don't do that. You need to laughing and all that, but no, seriously, that really happened to me. But you was just that for me in every area, and it's crazy because it's like the topic is about being equally yoked, but I'm doing a lot of the talking about it because I don't think when it come to type, you didn't really have a type. I mean, so it's not like that part of it.
You about to cry?
No, I'm not about to cry.
Oh.
That part of it don't resonate with you for as having a type, but you probably could speak on some of the other things that you feel made us equally yoked. You can go ahead on with the story about when I came into your apartment.
Oh, that.
I mean,
No, you gotta say that. I ain't saying it. You gotta say
just
it.
talk about
No.
what makes us what do you feel
Say that
makes
part
us-
first, and then you gonna go there. Say that.
See right now.
Say that.
See right now. What you're not gonna do is tell me to say that because it's gonna come when it needs to come.
All right. Because it's gonna sound better the way you say it.
I'll say it. I'm gonna
Okay,
say
say
it.
it.
But I've said it before, but I'm not
All right.
gonna say it now. It's gonna
All
come
right.
when it needs to come.
Okay.
I wanna know where did you realize because you don't have a type. Of course I had a type.
I have a
But I
type.
realized I asked you that at the very beginning if you had a type.
I know it when I see it,
Oh,
when I experience,
okay.
right? Like when we first started seeing each other, I was dating them. I was
Right,
dating
you
them
was
all.
dating. Yeah, you was dating.
All of them. And I'm talking about rich, doctor, lawyer, news reporter, very well off. But I was at the point, I don't care how much money you have, whatever it is, I know how to get money. You understand? You're a millionaire, I can be a millionaire too. You understand me? I just had to start over. You understand me? But it's all good. And so I saw the Bible says, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Right? So at the moment, because me being a man of God, me being in ministry, I can't be out there in the streets dating this one, that one, that one, that one, right? But then, therefore, because I'm in leadership, that will taint my leadership abilities, right? Because if you see a person in ministry, not just in ministry, for as like, this serving, everybody, a lot of people serve, but when you be is that person in a pulpit,
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking about expounding and
Yeah.
exegeting the word. That's a
Right.
whole other level.
It is.
So now you're under a microscope, a magnifying glass, and people will find anything that's why I don't go to church now. And so even though at that moment I'm like, man, I can't be like this here. You know what I'm saying? I can't ruin my testimony or whatever. And so when I began to I saw them qualifications in you on everything. I saw a beautiful, not only beautiful, you understand, voluptuous woman. You understand? I saw you matched my fly. I'm like, I saw, you like to dress, you understand me? uh, she did like to just show her stomach all the time. Praise the Lord. But I saw that real classy. And I did the research. I was looking back all the way back. I'm looking at through all of I'm looking at social media. I'm looking at everything. I'm seeing how she carry herself and all of that. And you have to pay attention to how a person carried itself. And so I saw that. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. And then once I got to know you, and I saw that you fit the description of that Proverbs 31 woman, right? The virtuous woman. Her price is far beyond rubies. That's how the Bible describes it. Carry holds down her own without need for nobody else, right? And you had all of those things, and the only thing that you were missing was me. You understand me? Because it said, "He that findeth a wife." See, you was already a wife before I met you. You understand? And once I met you, and you came to my house when I had to go down there and get that mail. You understand me? Talking about
So he want me to say it so bad, so I'll be the one to say it. So how I knew so for me, I know I've been in relationships, right? And I know that I always know that I was wife material. Always, right? This is my second marriage. I've always known I was wife material. I don't like the girlfriend. I mean, I know you have to be a girlfriend first, and then a fiance and then a wife, of course. But, for me, being a girlfriend too long becomes a problem for me. So I know I possess all the qualities for a wife. So I know I needed a husband, right? But I know I couldn't go out and find my own husband. My husband had to find me. So with that being said, I knew I had to just be patient and wait and just continue doing what I needed to do. And what happened was when Ramon came along, he came along right at the right time, right? Because I was out of a relationship. I had been out of a relationship probably to some people not long enough. I had been out of a relationship about 6 months before me and him actually really started dating. And one particular day inside of his apartment, when I was there, I he went downstairs to get mail out of his mailbox, and I went to the bathroom and I looked across the room from the bathroom. It was his bedroom. So I went inside of his bedroom. And when I went inside of his bedrooms, I just was observant of his bedroom. I saw his cologne, everything all neatly. I saw his hats all neatly. And it was just like at that moment, at instant, I knew, I'm like, it was almost like an epiphany, like this gonna be my husband.
But they ain't wait a minute. Hold on.
But
Now.
so I laid, so I laid across his bed, because I was in a ooh ah moment. I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be my husband. Like I literally lay across his bed and I was like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be my husband. So I got up out the bed and I left out there, and in my head, I automatically knew from that moment on, he was gonna be my husband. So of course, I still went about my business the way I carry business, and of course, you see us now, he's my husband. So not only did I patiently waited, right? Some would say I manifest my husband. I manifest him. I like to say that sometimes. So, but I was patiently waiting. I just waited.
All right. You're all right.
I know I ain't leaving.
And then I had to do something for Bishop where I introduced you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we went. I had to go somewhere with Bishop, and I said, "Yeah," and you came with me, and everything.
Yeah, I came with you, and
Bishop said,
well, I mean, since we gonna tell that part, we gotta.
all right. Oh, I remember you slept by my house when you slept over. Yeah, she slept over there, right?
And this was in November, my first time actually sleeping at
She
his
slept
house.
over there. She was over there. I'm like, "Hey, just stay here." She slept in the bed, and guess what?
He didn't even touch me.
I didn't even touch her, and that was the first time ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yep.
The woman was next to me, and I ain't touch her.
And
the next morning, I even stood in the bed till about 9 o'clock.
No, you didn't stay in the bed till 9 o'clock that morning. That wasn't the morning. So that particular morning, you talking about I slept at your house, and of course the next morning we got up both early because you had to do something. I think you had to go to work. I had to go to work. We both got up early, and maybe
I
a
don't
week
remember
later,
all that.
yes.
Oh.
That's how it went. And matter of fact,
I think you was there when this.
That was like that didn't happen. So that was like the 1st of November that happened, right? And then a couple of days later is when your birthday party was. He invited me to his birthday party, and I slept again, I think, or something. And then that particular morning, stayed in the bed.
Oh. Well,
and you touched.
Um,
So he
man, I
stayed
don't
in the
know
bed
what
that
you're
morning,
doing.
though. But anyway, I knew. I just knew. So go ahead.
Well, then, shucks. Welcome to the Power Transformation Couples Podcast. We didn't went on through all that. You know, we talk about equally yoked. And all that plays a major role in it. And I like that description with Bishop R.C. Blake's. He talked about unequally yoked. I wish I had the picture. And if you know about farming, when they used to plow the fields, they would take two bulls or cows, whatever you want to call them. What you call them? Bulls? And the yoke is this apparatus that they connect to their tie around their neck and to keep them to walk straight. But what happens if you can't put a cow and a donkey walking the same path? I ain't talking about calling nobody no cow or no donkey. You funky cow. You can't do that. What I'm saying is that because one is bigger or taller than the other, and if it's unequally yoked, that means it's going to be unbalanced, and one is going to be pulling the other one down. And that's what happens in relationships when we talk about equally yoked if you can walk side by side. Because in the beginning, the Bible said, well, it ain't fit for man to be alone. I will create for him a help meet. It didn't say help mate. It said help meet. A helper. Someone that can help him take care of everything that I just put here. And so, therefore, when God put Adam to sleep and pulled from his side, right? He pulled from the side for a reason, right? That they can walk side by side. Not from his feet to walk over, not from his head to look down on her. But side by side, they can walk together, side by side. And when you're equally yoked, you can walk side by side. Even though you're two individuals that do your own thing, you're still equally yoked. Being equally yoked, if I go to one church and my wife go to a different church, we getting two types of leadership from two different types of people, two different formats, right? Or if I'm a Christian and my wife is a Muslim or vice versa, we're unequal because we have total, and some people do it, but it's always conflict, right? I can't, if I'm a Christian, right? I didn't say that I'm a Baptist, a Presbyterian, a Lutheran, a Methodist. That is religion. That's denomination, right? But if I'm a Christian, I'm a follower of the way of Christ. So therefore, if I am a Christian and my wife is a Christian, we'll walk. And if she wasn't a Christian or whatever, she didn't believe, what fellowship have light to do with darkness? I can only speak from my faith, right, as a believer. Because if she was a believer, if she was a non-believer, and I witnessed to her, you understand me, and brought her over to the fold, hey, that's a whole different story, right? Because as the man, I am to instill and teach my wife, right? Everything that I know. And
But that's true what you just said.
That was a lot
and
of
that's
buts.
facts, right? But in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have. I mean, so in the beginning, I'm a non-believer, right? And you being a believer in Christ. From the beginning, we not equally yoked, right? Because I need to already be a believer in God myself before I can even connect with you.
So it's not the case, right?
What's not the case?
No, hear me out. You ain't never let me finish. You understand me?
but
See, America did with now.
Okay.
You don't know me, I don't know you, but I see you. I'm like, okay, she's a beautiful woman, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And as usual, I'm witnessing, right? I'm seeing, I'm picking, okay, do you believe in God or whatever it is? If I see that you don't, then I will begin to ask questions or whatever, whatnot. And if I see it's dependent on
the answers.
how you answer, and I see where if I can help save you, or if I see where I can't get nowhere, where I'm shut down, okay, well, praise the Lord. I dust my feet off. All right. I keep you in prayer.
So
you can pray. Do you want a prayer or
All right.
whatever? So unequally yoked, when people together in a relationship, once you form a relationship, a bond, that's when that part yoked and equally yoked and unequally yoked, right? So if we're in a relationship together, that's a different story. If we're not in a relationship, I'm witnessing, right? That's different. I'm not in a relationship with you. I'm witnessing. Now, if I'm witnessing and I figure out my number one concern at that moment is how can I convert you into,
all right, so
into becoming a believer.
So with that being said, that's a whole nother topic.
So that's a whole nother topic. And so therefore, my goal as a believer, right, as a man of God, is to go out into the world preaching, teaching the gospel.
I get it.
Until every soul, everybody that I come in contact with, right? And then sometimes it's the way that if I'm witnessing on how my approach is going to be, right? There's different approaches. That's a whole nother episode right there. That's it's different approaches. Open door approaches and everything. If I see that you are not a believer, you understand? Now, if I see that you are, I can switch gears. If you're not, my number one concern is your soul, right? And then I can help save your soul according to my faith, because everybody have different perspectives on their theological preference. But for me, I'm a Christian. I'm a follower of the Christ, right? The Messiah, the anointed one, Emmanuel, God with us, Jesus, God. I'm a follower. I'm a biblical believer, a Bible believer. And so therefore, everything that's in the book, I believe it. And so therefore, it becomes unequally yoked if we together and you don't believe nothing in that book. Now, when people are married, if I'm saved and my wife is not, you understand? I can keep you covered. There'll be a lot of conflict, right? but I have every right to put paperwork in the office, file a paperwork. I'm like, oh, she don't want to convert, and vice versa. You understand? If that makes any sense, am I speaking right? So therefore, how can two walk together unless they be agreed? Ooh, that was good. I can't walk. We can't walk together if we are not in agreement. And we can agree to disagree, but talk about Bible believers, biblical believers. That's good.
Good enough. So, so how important is it to have similar circles and friendship with people? You know, when you're in a relationship, equally yoked, doing your thing, um, and navigating like friendship with other people. I know.
So for me, and I know they say what fellowship have light to do with darkness, right? As you grow in the faith, a lot of things you used to do, you're not going to do anymore. A lot of people used to hang around, you ain't going to hang around them no more. I remember there was a time I used to always go to the bar. You understand? But then I started getting a feeling, I'm like, I can't, be around there. Because you go in there and they have all the cuss music playing or whatever and whatnot. And so, see, it's you gradually grow. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. Transformation is therefore a process, right? So even family, when it comes to family members, and we all have family members, we have those family members that live their own lifestyles, right? As you are coming to Christ. No, is it my job to bash them? No. But the Bible says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven, right? So therefore, I had to be a walking epistle. Oh man, I remember Ramon used to be this way, and now if I walk this way, it's oh man, my bad. You understand? People's whole conversation will change when they see that you're a man of faith, that you stand on what you believe in.
So I asked that question about the friendship to kind of get to what I'm about to ask now. Do you think now that you're in a relationship and you're married now, and because we've been podcasting for quite some time, so people know that you've been in quite a few relationships, right?
Oh, hey, yeah.
Right. So with that being said, being equally yoked, right, to the person that you with now, right? You equally yoked. So give me some examples of us being equally yoked, us showing like we're equally yoked. Like, give me some examples of us of being equally yoked. What do that look like?
You believe in Jesus Christ?
Yes, I do.
All right. Believe that he died on the cross and they put buried him and raised
Yes.
on the third day?
Yes, of course I do.
What else? Equally yoked.
So that's enough for you. So we just equally yoked.
Now, here's the thing. Even though you're a believer, I'm a believer, but we still have things within our lives that we deal with, right? Even though I'm a believer and you're a believer, there's still some things that you may like to do or whatever it is. It's not my job to force you not to do certain things. I allow the Holy Spirit in order to transform you. A lot of people get in a relationship and they perceive that they can change the man or the woman. It's not my job to change you.
But see, that's what you just kind of said that, dude. You just kind of said getting in a
what I
relationship.
say?
You just kind of said like, I guess in a different term, but basically like, if I get with a person, you know what I'm saying, I can look at them or watch them and ask questions to see if they're a believer of Christ, and if they're not a believer of Christ, then I can kind of like navigate or coach them into some words you use to kind of like make the person become a believer of Christ.
Yeah, my whole thing is to get their soul saved.
Right.
So that your question, what your question was?
So when that happens, that means move on to the next question.
because
So we really wasn't doing. So we really wasn't
You-
really doing questions. I just asked that question because of what you said, but it's okay. Listen, I only.
because you confusing me. Didn't I just explain to her?
Toastmasters where you at when
No.
he need you.
Didn't I just explain everything in detail and she come back? Now she's
It's like,
confusing
I
me.
feel like I'm the lawyer and you the you acting
Like,
like
what you mean? What you mean? I don't know why you do that. Shucks.
Oh Lord, so we wasn't really asking questions.
You
even
did
though-
ask a
I did
question.
ask a question, but I'm saying we normally when
You
we
trying to
do-
twist me up.
No, normally when we come in and we do our podcast, we kind of navigate through questions, but this time we just kind of went with a flow.
Yeah, we just really
we
flowed.
just went with a
None
flow,
of that
so we
stuff
didn't
that
really-
was just
yeah,
discussed
we
is
we didn't ask
in the- on the
questions
paper.
and discuss the things from our questionnaire. We just kind of flowed into it and just. But the question I asked only because of what you said. But we can move on past that. It's okay.
Now you got to know.
So
I
now-
be talking. Shucks.
So okay, so now since we in the question of it, these questions are how do you ensure maturity, respect, and understanding in your relationship? What role do faith play in your relationship? So I guess it's what role.
Why you got to read it out loud?
Because I was trying to see.
I thought you need some glasses. That's your
I got
reading
my
glasses?
glasses here. Well, you go ahead on the
Huh?
take over there. Go ahead.
No, I don't know what you was reading out. Where you at?
Wherever you pick, because I told you we hadn't been reading out the question.
Oh, all right. So,
I mean, we just flow with it tonight.
All right.
We just flow with it.
Okay,
and
so-
I'm looking at the time.
all right. So
And I'm
don't
like,
don't
okay.
look at the time. You
But
understand me?
that's how we stay on
How important is spiritual alignment in your relationship?
It's very important.
Right. I believe that's important to a lot of people to see where people are, especially men and women of God, to see if they're spiritually aligned. We just really discussed that.
Yeah, I know. A
To see
lot of
where
the stuff on
you
there, we
know, see
kinda
where you
discussed.
are.
We discussed pretty much
Okay.
everything on there. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, yes, we did. Really, really did.
Ooh. How do you maintain a strong emotional connection?
How do you maintain a strong
Emotional connection.
emotional connection? Help me, Holy Spirit. You're
That
looking
ain't
at
the
me like that.
answer.
I can ask the Holy Spirit to help me so I can say the right thing.
Oh, all right. I
You
thought
know?
that was the answer.
But that ain't the answer. I mean, you messing with.
So
what
you
I'm
won't
trying to-
finish? You freestyling this thing?
I mean, basically, yeah, I'm kind of freestyling it. I mean, it's okay to do that sometimes. What was the question again? Because you just messed me up.
Now, see, that's the same thing. All right.
I mean, that's because we equally yoked. And now what you do starts to do it, and now what I do, you start to
So-
do. So I make sure that I do
so-
everything right, so you won't pick up none of my bad habits, and I pray to God you do everything right, so I won't
so
pick up
listen
none
to,
of
so
your
listen
bad habits.
so
That's
listen to us,
equally
people.
yoked.
What we're doing is delving into the concept of being equally yoked. Equally yoked is y'all on one accord. Y'all of the same like-minded, same faith, whatever, not.
Same
Y'all
wavelength.
have some. It's like a who?
We on the same wave, on the same wave, on the same.
What you in Hawaii or something? Doing a hula hoop? So what we need to know is
Make sure we on one accord. All right. Okay.
so we got to know what it means to be aligned with your partner in faith,
Y'all in the wrong
values, and life goals, right? As we discussed the importance of spiritual alignment, right? How to handle differences in beliefs and the ways couples can support each other's growth, as we just discussed. Whether we're navigating financial decisions, parenting styles, or maintaining emotional intimacy, we want to offer valuable insights and practical tips to ensure that both partners feel respected, heard, and united. That and so when it comes to the growth, right? Because as like we do our family Bible study or whatever it is, I know me, you're not as biblically inclined as I am. And so me, it is my job and my duty to not only impart what I have in you, but also to our kids, to our children.
Right.
Uh,
And
and what?
no, go ahead.
So it is a must that we do that. And as I grow, you all grow as well.
Right.
We all grow together.
Right. And the good thing about that, what you just said is, because I recognize that, and I like to be very transparent, even with our
y'all
podcast,
doing?
and I like to be transparent, Ramon.
Mhm.
I like to be very that don't matter. I like to be very transparent, right? So even with what you just said, about me not being biblically inclined, and you wanting to, to make sure that the children is your duty to make sure that, whatever it was you just said, right? So I know for me, as your wife, I know these same things, right? So I feel like it wherever you lacking at in certain areas. Why you looking like that? Wherever you lacking at in certain areas, I feel like it's I'm what I'm trying to say is what he just said. It it it's a demonstration of us being equally yoked, right? Because what Ramon just actually spoke on, it's me being the person that's not as biblically inclined as he said, and knowing that, you know, I need to be, I want to be. I know that the children that we raising has to be, but I know he be Ramona get to a place where uh he's in a place, right? Let's just say that. He's in a place. So it's for me, I have to pull him out of that place and tell him, listen, this is what needs to happen for us, right? And that's my duty. I feel like, and and this is a demonstration of us being equally yoked, because I feel a need for something that has to be done, but I know he's the one that has to do it, right? So because I feel a need that it has to be done, and I know I can't do it, he have to do it. It's my job to not, I don't want to say force it, but what's another word I could use? It's my job to make sure that he
It's
does
implemented.
it. Yes, for us, right? So I have to do that for him. So that's an equally yoked example of what I was trying to get him to talk about earlier, but that was an example of something, because he knows this, he just spoke on it, but even though we are doing it now, it was something that I felt that needed to be done, and I brought it to the attention of him, and now he's implementing it and making it happen.
Very well spoken. Awesome.
And with all that being said, he brings the best out of me, and I know I bring the better out of him.
So with it, in other words, it brings balance.
It does.
It brings balance.
It definitely does.
You know?
So even though I'm 4 feet higher than he is, um, we somehow still actually balance each other out. I don't know how that actually happened, because I'm here and he's here in height, but biblically he's here and I'm here in that area. So
What you mean? What you mean?
I'm just saying, I'm making a point, baby.
What you mean?
But I was making a real valuable point, and you just messed that up with your silly jokes. So there you have it.
She talking about height.
Yeah.
You
I'm
still
just-
talking about height?
I was just showing that, even though it may not seem like a balance in height, and in other areas, it really, like, we really balance. This is a perfect this is a perfect example of what I'm speaking on. This is a perfect example of being equally yoked, because when you look at us, you will see one tall and one short. That don't look like a balance, right? But and I'm speaking, I'm serious.
We
I'm
balance
speaking from
in the
heart.
spirits.
Like we really balance
All right,
each other
so-
out, even though
So
we
we
not.
balance in the spirit. In the spirit. Emotionally, spiritually. You understand? Now, physically, you taller than me. But when the sun's shining, I'm 6'11". My shadow tall. You understand me? Yeah. Real dope.
There you have
I
it.
push it down. Lay it
Equally
down,
yoked,
lay it
building
down.
strong, balanced. What? Relationships. And that concludes.
So, we want to know how you feel.
Yep. What
Are
think?
you yoked? Are you equally yoked with your partner? Or is there constant conflict? Because if you are in a relationship and there is constant clashing is happening for a reason. Because maybe instead of coming like this, you're going like that. The north and the east and the west will never meet. Just like the north and the south will never meet.
Amen.
But when you're together, what Caesar said? Together.
All right.
Hey, strong. And so that's what it is. So we thank you all for tuning in with us on today. In this episode number 23. Equally
we can solve your love. Let me solve a question. We can help you out. Help you find your baby. Transformation. Reason.
Well, we give you the glory.